So welcome to Open Lines. I'm really happy to be here today. We've got Chandra Bruval from Alpha House here and Assistant Deputy Chief Gord Lowen, and we're going to talk a bit about kind of a bit of a transition with our needle debris program, but also I think we'll have the opportunity to talk to Chandra a little bit about some other things that Alpha House offers, programs that may be useful to us in the work that we do. So yeah, first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here, Chandra, for sure. And first of all, tell us a bit more about what you do at Alpha House.
Yeah, so I'm the Director of Communications, Community Engagement, and Fund Development. So I oversee a lot of our government relations, media liaison, and then I also oversee our community engagement team. So some of the outreach programs that go out into the community and do education and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So when did Alpha House start doing a bit of a needle debris program, if you like?
Yeah, we started the needle response program in 2019, and at the time, very small program. We were citywide, and it's been many years now, of course, and we've become the #1 response for needle pickup in the city.
Yeah, and that leads to my next question, Gord, which is I think during that period, likely and maybe before that, we've seen a decline in the number of calls we get for needle debris pickup, I guess.
Absolutely, Chief. Back in 2017, we were getting close to 700 calls for service to go and pick up needles, and of course that often was an engine crew that would go out and have a look on that. When Alpha House started the program in 2019, we saw a drastic decrease into that, right down to the point now where our calls of service for the needle debris is substantially less, for sure. And so that was the networking with Alpha House on this and for a common goal.
Mm-hmm. Chandra, I believe you have like an online app around needle debris, and I think we'll probably put the details up on the screen overlaid, but tell us a bit about the app you have.
Yeah, so really recently we looked into a QR code, very, very simple survey for folks to be able to pull it up on their phone. They can take a picture of kind of the area where there's needle debris, a close-up of the debris so that we know what we're kind of walking into. They can do a pin drop. It's a very simple process, takes 30 seconds, a minute, and then they can kind of go on their way, and we'll be able to respond to that call within the same day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know we've been involved in this program for certainly over 20 years. I'm not sure it would have been during Chief Morris's tenure for sure,
yeah.
which certainly puts it back 20 plus years in terms of when we initially started the program. And of course, part of that program was to pick up the boxes that people could drop needles in. And I believe there's been a change in terms of who's emptying those as well and taking care of those. So maybe either of you tell us about, a little bit about that.
Sure, thanks, Chief. It was, and that was our hazardous materials division that started off on that.
Right.
And the needle box program was put in place, and up until our networking here with Alpha House, it was up to our hazardous materials members to basically come off the front line and get onto the recovery truck and to go and empty and service these needle boxes. And so we started talking with Alpha House, and we're able to come to an agreement onto that. But the needle box, we've got 16 locations still in service, and it's been a great networking and a great win for not only the program but for both parties involved.
I believe there's some interesting technology in some of those boxes now that not everyone might be aware of. So I don't know if you want to mention that.
Oh, certainly, yeah. We have 5 boxes out there now with IT department in the City of Calgary, and they're sensors on top of the lids of the boxes, and it goes to a dashboard, and it monitors several things. It monitors whether the box, when it's been opened and when it's been closed. It also monitors the status of the box and how full it is. So they're able to go to the dashboard and just see when it was last serviced and how full it is. And of course, this is all in efficiency then, where the boxes are getting filled and being used. And so we have 5 of those in place right now as a trial period, and we'll see how this is and see where it goes going
forward. And that's
forward.
they're working good?
They are, yeah.
Wonderful, yeah. Tell us about as well how you got involved in this program, Gord, maybe.
Well, it came through as part of the needle debris was part of the program with the City of Calgary, and so it just started working out that it was on my portfolio with Chief Turk when I came onto this, and it's just developed and has been going forward at this time, and it was something that we knew we could do better in the program, but not really sure how to do better. And so it was when we started networking with Alpha House, we kind of realized that there's a better way to do this, that the program would be better served.
Right. Well, presumably you see some benefits as well in terms of it being Alpha House that we're working with, given that we have other interactions with them.
That's right. Alpha House is out there on they're doing their where we were being reactive, and so when we got a call for a needle, a service call for a needle, we would go out and look for it. Where Alpha House was being proactive and with their members, and so we saw the shift and the swing towards that, and we thought, well, if we're going out and dealing with Chandra, that they're out there and they could also go and manage this as well. And so, like I say, the program was benefiting on that. We keep our members where they should be, is in the frontline service, in the hazardous materials apparatus, and it's been working out well.
Yeah. Chandra, you talked a little bit earlier about I think it's the help team that does the kind of proactive needle pickup, if you like, but they're involved in some other programs as well, I think. And also, I think there's some confusion at times between, there's the help team and we hear about the dope team as well. Can you speak to that?
Yes, absolutely. So the dope team was kind of the original creation of Alpha House's outreach programs. Needle response came much, much later and is its own entity. The dope team in 2005 started as a response to, public intoxication. There was individuals who were struggling on the street, and, police intervention wasn't necessary, EMS intervention wasn't necessary. And so how could we, provide a better response, better outcomes for those individuals? Right. And so that outreach team would go citywide, connect with individuals on the street, and bring them back to a safe place. Typically that meant Alpha House's shelter or one of the shelters in the city. The help team is the exact same program as the dope team. It's slight rebranding of name that just happened over the summer, but it is the same services 24/7 citywide.
Great. And how do we get hold of the help team? How do our crews access them?
Yeah, so we actually just recently created a dispatch system with our help teams. It used to be where you called a number and it was, the team that was on the road, but if they were responding to a crisis at the time or with a client at the time, they weren't able to answer. But we have a dispatch program now where you call the number 403-998-7388, and then you're, speaking with a dispatch operator who can see where our teams are and can dispatch the team that's closest.
Yeah. And Gord, presumably we're going to make that information available in the MDT as well.
On the MDT as well, Chief. We'll push it to our officers' apparatus phones as well, so it'll be in the base there as well. Okay. So the officers will be able to dial direct.
Right.
And with the help team, I will say as well, we partner really closely with CFD, with CPS as well, so that when we do get a call for service or support from one of your teams, that is a higher priority call, right? We are able to get to your calls quickly so that your teams can go back to doing what they should be doing. Right.
I think as well, you have some involvement around encampments, which of course we're seeing now, and it's becoming a pretty political issue in terms of, some aspects of them for sure, and certainly our council are very engaged in that. What kind of services do you provide for that? And I know we get involved with those as well, of course.
Yeah, so our encampment team, another kind of facet of our outreach programs where we do connect with what we call rough sleepers, or those are folks who are not accessing shelter, right? -30, they're still outside. And so that program is really focused around housing and reducing displacement for campers, keeping them safe, but keeping it also, from spilling out into the community, basically. And then connecting those folks to resources towards housing, which they don't access because they're not accessing shelters.
Right. Can you tell us about other programs that Alpha House might have that might somewhat overlap with things that we're experiencing? Because we're all in a different world today than we were 5 years ago in terms of what's going on in the downtown, but also across the city, out along the transit lines, those kind of things. What are the other programs that you run that might be, might have an intersection with the work that we do at times?
So we like to call it kind of a continuum of care, a continuum of programs, so that we can meet folks where they're at, sort of regardless of where they're in their journey, right? Our work is around homelessness and addiction. So we have a shelter program specifically for folks who struggle with substance use. We have a detox program to kind of facilitate easy transition towards recovery. And then, of course, our outreach programs, so our help team, our needle team, our encampment team, and then we have housing programs as well to kind of really round out, again, that continuum to support folks towards ultimately, the best solution, which is housing, right?
Yeah, perfect. Anything we missed or anything else you wanted to talk about, either of you?
I don't think so.
We've covered a lot of ground. So.
No, yeah, it's partnerships with folks like yourselves is significant for us, right? It I think keeps people doing the work that they're meant to do without overlapping or duplicating services.
Well, thank you for the work you do in the community. And I know, again, I talked about how this is a new world, and presumably you're like many of the services involved with this right now, where you've seen significant growth, and probably sometimes it feels like a struggle to keep up with things. I'm sure, So thank you for everything you do in the community, and thank you as well. It really has been. I think Chief Morris was very visionary when he set up the program. Probably more like a quarter of a century ago. I think it was more
at
like
least 25 years.
25 years ago, and very visionary. But it does take our people who are really there for emergency response into some areas which really, and we're struggling with the growth in call volume as well. So it's a really fitting time to find a community partner who's already providing this service and making that a little bit more robust, and us being able to get some of our folks back into frontline emergency response. So
absolutely.
Thanks again for coming along
you.
today. I appreciate
Thanks so
that. Gord, thanks as always.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.